It's Luke and Naomi.
Happy episode 77. See, I remembered from last week. I don't know
that it's okay to be
what
happy.
happened there. Yeah, it's okay to say happy episode, whatever it is. Happy episode 77, Luke and Naomi on air, featuring Naomi's Under a Rock reviews. I'm Luke Austin. That's Naomi Lynn.
That's right.
Welcome in. Welcome in. We just got back, and a big pat on my own back, our own backs, for actually getting a movie done and then recording after driving all day yesterday. Right. So
normally we would be like, we're just getting back from a trip away, so let's take a week off. Or then, life happens, so we're going to take a week off. But we're trying really hard to be consistent. And we did it. So yay!
Yes,
go
right.
us!
Yes, there we go. Boom.
Yeah.
Self-applause, all that. So,
that's right.
I had a trip to Asheville for the first time. That was just wonderful.
It was amazing. It was even better than I expected. Everyone's like, oh, you're going to love Asheville. You're going to love Asheville. It's amazing. The mountains, the breweries, all of that stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. No, it was amazing.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
I love the whole vibe. The downtown scene was awesome. The options, all of that.
And it was really cool because it was such a mix of people. You saw like college kids hanging out. We saw a bunch of bros at a lot of the breweries that we went to. But you also saw like families, like older mom and dads with their daughter who was probably 30,
Yeah, stuff like that was cool.
You would see that. You'd see families with kids and all of that. It was just such a nice blend. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We hit, of course, a couple of breweries. I think we mentioned last episode. We were definitely looking to get to Burial. Shout out to Burial. Did not disappoint.
Absolutely not. We actually went there twice, if you want to be honest there. We started one night there and ended the night there.
Yeah, God bless Uber, I gotta tell you.
Yes.
So that was fantastic. Couple others, Dissolver, the Funkatorium from Magic Hat was fantastic. The food was great.
Wicked Weed,
not
Wicked
Magic
Weed.
Hat. Now I remember Magic Hat.
Yeah.
I was trying to come up with that at the Funkatorium and could not
do
until
it.
we got home. And now I said it in the wrong place.
That's right.
So Wicked Weed's Funkatorium in Asheville. Very cool.
What was the other one? Green Man Brewery.
Green Man was fantastic as well.
That was really good.
The space was, the beer was great too, but the space was awesome. Was it 2 stories? They had the whole outdoor setup upstairs.
It was really cool.
Very neat.
We also made it to New World. New World?
One World.
One World. That's what it was. One World Brewing. That was really cool. That was the first stop we actually made on Friday when we got in.
That's right. That was great. That was Friday. We did that. Then we hiked on Saturday. And then Sunday, we fulfilled Naomi's not lifelong dream for the last 4 or 5 years to see some red pandas in person.
It's been a while. It's been so long since I've got to see them in person. So
you got spoiled in Utica because the Utica Zoo has some red pandas there.
Yeah, and I had a membership, so anytime I wanted to go, like after work, I'm gonna just go check out the pandas.
Zoo memberships, not a bad idea for a gift, by the way.
They're not.
I learned that year.
Yeah.
So that was great. The whole weekend was just fantastic. Friday night ended, as you were talking about, One World, not ended, whatever, at One World Brewing in Asheville, which is really, really cool space. But as we do, a couple of episodes back, we were talking about introducing ourselves at the beginning of the podcast and said how, we might as well because we do randomly meet people and have them sign on board to deal with us.
So I apologize for making fun of you for doing that now because I was like, everybody knows who we are. It's Luke and Naomi on air. So, of course, when there's a guy talking, that's Luke. When there's a girl talking, that's Naomi. Why would we have to introduce ourselves? But you made your point clear this weekend.
30 seconds. I think we were in that place for 30 seconds. At least that's the joke. Maybe 5 minutes to be legit. And we started talking to the couple next to us. And long story short, Chip, if you're listening, what's happening, man? Thanks for listening. How about that? So we met Chip and Tiffany.
Oh, they were so cool.
Yeah, they were great. And some cool stories from those two. Chip is actually hiking the Appalachian Trail right now. Yeah,
and their son is playing lacrosse. So they'll go and they'll, catch a game and all of that while he's out hiking. It was really cool to sit down and talk to them because it was like, hey, do you come to Asheville a lot? We're over here saying, hey, it's our first time here. They were talking about going to Charlotte the next day. And I'm like, where are these guys going? Are they just traveling all over? And that's when they started explaining, again, doing the hiking and all of that, and the son that's in La Crosse. So that's pretty cool.
Really, really cool. Chip says the first thing that everybody asks him is what about bears, and if he's carrying because of the bears, basically. Yeah. And so he had a neat story or two, which was a lot of fun. A lot of fun meeting some new Luke and Naomi listeners. How about that?
It honestly was my first concern because he was talking about
I was going to ask him
hiking,
too.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I would love to do those hikes, but I'm not camping. I need to be in a cabin. I need to be somewhere safe. And Tiffany was like, oh no, like he camps. And I'm like, yeah, no, can't do that. That's too crazy. That's when I started asking him about the bears because, well, that's a concern.
Absolutely. Yeah, for real. And he's a trooper.
Oh yeah. I think if I saw one, heard one, anything like that, I'd be like, all right, I'm done. Guys, I'm calling my husband. I gotta go home. I'm done.
I mean, I love camping and stuff like that. Unfortunately, in all my years camping in the Adirondacks and stuff, never had to encounter any bears. We didn't camp anywhere where people were foolish and left food out and all of that stuff, thankfully.
Still.
But
such a risk.
The stories like, hey, there's a lot of bears in this area. And I say, oh, okay, I'm not going there. Like that's I'd like to say that's what keeps me from hiking the Appalachian Trail, but there's a lot more than that.
Yeah, I was going to say there's probably a couple other reasons why you're not
one
doing
or two,
that.
One or two. So shout out to Chip. Yeah, he's killing it out there on the trail. And
shout out to him and Tiffany. It was so nice meeting you guys. I hope you are actually listening to this. If you are, come to Wilmington at some time. Come to Wilmington sometime, and Luke and I will buy you a beer.
That's right. First round's on us at Bill's Brewing because I was wearing a Bill's Brewing shirt, and they asked about it. So
deal.
There we go. Got talking to Chip a little bit about the trail and snacking.
Yeah.
And food and things like that. And he said he come across this guy on the trail who had a big old bag of Fritos strapped to, he said, biggest bag of Fritos I've ever seen strapped to his pack.
Yeah.
And it was in the big water bottle pouch thing. And he said, oh man, I hope we end up camping in the same spot. And the guy with the Fritos is all, I'm not sharing.
I can't believe you said that.
How about, handful, man.
Yeah.
Handful. Come on.
We're probably not going to the same place, but if you want to take a handful now, go ahead.
That's right. That's right. You can
greedy. How much are Fritos anyways?
Yeah. So we got talking about that and sips and snacks. So
one thing led to another. And so now sips and snacks for your May video. We're going to do Fritos. Yeah. So be looking for that video to be out May 15th. So now we got to make our trip over to Fermanagh, go talk to Ashley Rogers and find out what beer and wine is going to pair the best with Fritos.
And Ashley, if you're listening, I'll give you a call. Because we have not told him that we're planning to do this yet. So
that's all right.
Hopefully we get a hold of him sooner rather than later. And now is about the time. It's Fritos, brother.
That's right.
That's what we're doing next.
Yeah.
So we'll see you soon. Looking forward to the next Sips and Snacks. That'll be really, really cool. Also, we have an update.
We do.
Last episode, we talked about Naomi possibly murdering Mother Earth's children.
That's right. We do have an update. So they're not murdered right now. I have little sprouts.
The children are alive.
They're sprouting.
You can't kill them if they don't sprout. I'm so happy. There's a whole bunch of little green sprouts. They're so tiny and cute, and they're still alive, guys. They're still alive. So there's the little sticks in them that identify what they are. And if you're listening, if you're listening on YouTube, you should be seeing a picture of what I'm talking about right now. The little sticks on the back have the date that we planted. So April 19th, I believe, is when we planted because it was right around Earth Day. Mm-hmm. And we're recording on the 29th.
That's 10 days.
So we're 10 days in.
10 days,
a handful of sprouts. We'll see how those sprouts do. The things are already dry.
They'll be fine.
Every planter is dry.
They'll be fine. They're not turning brown yet.
So update.
I don't want to overwater them.
Update on episode 78, and my computer won't stop going into.
Hopefully, it'll be like good news.
Yes, that's the plan. I'll just keep reminding you to water.
Starting to get scared now.
I know it.
Pressure's on. Everybody knows.
The bigger they get, the more sprouts you get. The more TLC you got to give them and pay more attention.
That's okay. I can do that. I'll keep them alive.
So a new update on the plant situation next week.
That's right.
Hopefully we get to past where it's the plant situation and it's all just smooth sailing.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Good luck to you anyway. All right.
Thanks.
That's
Appreciate
that.
it.
Well, good luck to me because I want some jalapenos, a couple tomatoes. That'd
For
be
real.
cool.
I mean, this benefits you too.
Absolutely. That's why
Yeah.
I'll be the shoemaking elf that sneaks around, takes care of them while you're not paying attention.
That's right. While I'm sleeping, you go
Yeah.
out there and water them.
That's right. The plant taken care of elf or
That's
whatever.
right.
All right. That's fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how those come out. That's great. Time for some random facts. Your recurrent dose of Did You Know? Hopefully we can get back to calling it weekly, but we'll stick with recurrent for now, I think. All right, here we go. Did you know Channing Tatum played a bartender in Ricky Martin's video for She Bangs?
I did not.
He was paid $400 about that. Did you know in America the Sony Walkman was originally called the Soundabout?
Did not know that. That's
the
weird.
Soundabout.
Yeah.
It sounds Australian, I think just because of walkabout, but the Soundabout. Did you know Michael Phelps was rated the second best swimmer in the whole country in his age group when he was 10 years old? You probably knew that. But did you know the kid who was number one was Chris Humphries, who went on to become an NBA player and married Kim Kardashian for like a day or two?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was one of them before. Didn't she marry Kanye too?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was well
Or they
before
were
that.
together for a long time. I think they were married.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you know the step in words like stepmother or stepchild do not come from the fact that you're one step away from being blood related? I
guess I never really
Yeah.
like questioned it or anything. It's just what you call it.
So that's not the reason though.
Okay.
It actually comes from an Old English word spelled steop, which meant deprived of a relative.
Huh.
So orphans were called stepchildren,
Weird.
which makes sense for orphans, I guess.
I guess. but
Brian,
it's
can
kinda
you look
weird.
into that for us? Brian from England. We have to run everything, even if it's Old English. I don't know if that matters to him or not, but if
He
it
should
says
know.
English or Britain or anything like that, we have to ask Brian.
He knows a lot of stuff. He
Brian
should know.
will confirm for us.
Yes.
All right. That is your recurrent dose of Did You Know?
I didn't like him.
It was a weak one, right?
Yeah, it was bad.
It was a weak one. I gotta step up my source for our recurrent dose of Did You Know. How about that? Okay, that's that. Last week, this is so stupid. We were talking about Robin Hood and then didn't watch Robin Hood.
Yeah.
By the way, we have a great review, Smokey the Bandit. I haven't seen Smokey the Bandit all the way through in so long. I was so happy watching that movie. Oh man. Anyway, that's coming up in just a couple. And last week we were talking about the Robin Hood situation.
Yes.
And we wanted to know, do we do the Disney Robin Hood or do we do the Kevin Costner Robin Hood Prince of Thieves?
And I have no say in this because, well, I don't know which one's better to watch.
Right. Now there's a couple of schools of thought.
Okay.
So, first of all, the most of our answers, everybody had to say, leaned heavily towards the Disney one, the cartoon one,
Okay.
which is just fine. I really am here for either one. That's hence the poll, you know what I mean? So, we had a couple of Kevin Costner votes, but we had a couple of people who are like men in tights, and they're friends of ours. And I had to go, well, obviously you didn't watch or listen to the episode because we talked about that. Like, it can't be Men in Tights because Naomi wouldn't know what Men in Tights is making fun of.
Right.
So, hence the Kevin Costner or the cartoon one. So, the thing is if you want to watch Robin Hood Men in Tights, which is sort of like a scary movie or
And it's a spoof
Yeah.
movie. Okay.
Spaceballs,
Yeah.
like that of Robin Hood, then we start with the Kevin Costner one.
Okay.
And if you want to just get a good idea of Robin Hood and, kind of have fun, watch a cartoon and all of that.
Well, I would like to see the spoof one, but more people voted for the Disney one. So I feel like we have to honor that and watch the Disney one. So maybe we watch and review the Disney one. I watch the other one in my own free time, and then we do Men in Tights.
No, that's a possibility.
All in the span of like 2 years, because it's going to take me a while to get
Yeah, I was
through all
gonna
these
say,
movies.
We went real heavy on Rocky once, and that was fine. Rocky's
I didn't
great.
mind that.
But
Yeah, I liked Rocky.
I don't want to be going, here's 3 Robin Hood movies. To
No.
throw at you.
I don't want to do that all in a row. Like, there is going to be space and time between those.
But shout out to all the Men in Tights voters because, A, we didn't ask. And B, yeah, we know. So it is definitely something that you have to watch. It's great. I mean, I love
What,
that
Men in Tights?
Yeah, it's so funny. And it's good. So maybe we'll do it that way.
I feel like I should watch it first now so I can be like, it's not funny. I don't know what
There
this
you
is
go.
about. And just rip it to pieces.
There
Kind
you
of like
go,
the
Tom.
vampire movie. What was that one?
Interview with the Vampire?
Yeah, that I ended up, ripping to pieces because I didn't understand.
That's right. And if you are new, Chip, or anybody else, that was hilarious because we discovered Naomi knows nothing of vampire lore.
I
Absolutely
thought I knew
nothing.
more, I thought I knew the basics.
It was legitimately under a rock.
Yeah. Oops.
That's the name for a reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like we got, mostly the Disney version. Justin says Kevin Costner, then watch Waterworld. Have you seen Waterworld?
I have seen
You have seen-
Waterworld.
Of course you have.
Yeah.
The craziest, most random ass movies you've seen.
I have
I'm telling
seen.
you.
Yes.
Brandy says Disney.
Okay.
And she says this reminds me of Cedar Point and learning you had never seen Bambi.
Oh yeah, she could not believe that I had never seen Bambi.
Have you seen Bambi since?
Yes,
Okay.
she made me watch it.
All right.
We sat down and we watched it together.
It's sort of the genesis.
I feel like a couple of months after this, but we had talked about it for a long time. She's like, "You have to watch this,"
That's sort of the genesis of the Under a Rock reviews way back when.
Oh yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. So Snowman says, Tori says, of course,
The Disney one.
the Disney one.
Yes.
Tori replied and said, yes, definitely the Disney one. They are Disney adults.
That's
so,
right.
That's what I figured we would get from Tori and
If
Snowman.
they had gone the other way, mine would have been blown. I would have been like, something happened.
Yeah,
Are they
I would be
okay?
surprised. Like, do you not like it? What's the matter with it?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Men in Tights, Paul, who knows better, says it's the best Robin Hood. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Chick says 100% Men in Tights. Daryl says, can I be unhelpful and say the Russell Crowe version? That was my favorite. I said, no, you can't be unhelpful because we only had 2. But I like the Russell Crowe one too. It wasn't too bad.
What one's that one?
It's newer. I want to say 2010-ish, something like that. Paul.
So there's 4 Robin Hoods I could watch at the end of this.
There's several.
Let's cap it at 4.
Just like Peter Pan, which is now that's kind of another
that's
debate.
on
Like
there.
which Peter Pan do we go with? But I think we'll go right straight to the Disney one for that,
Okay.
and just start there. Paul says as much as he loves Alan Rickman and Kevin Costner's, give poor Naomi a break and watch Disney's Robin Hood.
Okay. I like
So,
that answer.
There we go. That's a great answer. Dallas says Disney, which is interesting because I thought he might go, more Kevin Costner too, the actiony one.
Yeah.
Kate says start with Disney, then you have to watch Prince of Thieves. She says you have to.
Have to.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Tracy, who's another Disney adult of our listeners, we've run into quite a few. She just put a GIF of Robin Hood, Little John from Robin Hood, the Disney one.
Okay.
So,
I kind of assumed as you were talking that she is a Disney adult.
Yeah.
Like, obviously they're going to go that way.
And so I put the
Yes.
picture up on the Facebook page, Luke and Naomi on air on Facebook, and I put heart for the Disney one and like for the Kevin Costner one, and only we had all these comments, but only 2 people actually did the voting that way. But anyway,
That's usually how that goes.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. The way people use Facebook nowadays is just wonderful.
Yeah.
So there we go. I guess we're going to be watching the Disney version
Disney
of Robin Hood,
first.
which I'm all kinds of here for.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
So I don't know if we're going to actually do that next week. Maybe we will.
Depends on how I'm feeling.
Again, we always decide last minute.
Yeah. We were deciding in the car ride home last night for what movie we were going to watch.
And it was just because we were heading east, so I kept thinking eastbound and down.
And
Loaded
that's
up
all it
and
took.
trucking. We gonna do what they say can't be done.
That song was stuck in my head
Hell yeah, it was.
this morning when I woke up for work.
I'm
And I was
eastbound,
like,
just watch old
okay.
bandit run. Love it. Love it. All right. Well, we have one question to ask you, and then we'll get to it. But this week, we've got a crazy one again. A big goofy question. you can answer at Luke and Naomi on Facebook. You can drop your comment on YouTube if you want, if you're listening on YouTube or on Spotify.
Check it out there.
You get paired with 100 human randoms. 100 human randoms. 100 ass randoms.
I don't like how you said that at all. That does not hit the ears right.
No, it didn't. It felt weird. You get paired with 100 random humans. 100 randos. You all right?
No. Stupid.
If you are better than all of them at something, anything, you get $1 billion. What are you going to choose?
Man, that is tough. I don't think I'm better at anything.
I mean, it can be any. So here's mine. Are you ready? It's as stupid as I want everybody else's answer to be.
Okay.
Tekken 2 on PlayStation original.
Okay.
OG PlayStation. Maybe PlayStation 2, but I think it was OG PlayStation.
But you could beat 100 random people at that.
I was so good at that when we would sit around and play and pass the controller around, they had to start choosing what guy I was.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So Tekken 2 on the original PlayStation. If it's 100 random humans, I think the chances of me being able to access those skills and remember that and all that, because I've played recently and I remember.
Yeah.
I think
you'd be all right?
Yeah. 100 random humans.
Man.
I think because, random. There could be a baby.
That's right.
There could be somebody who has never handled a video game controller in their life.
And there could be somebody who's really good.
There could be. But at random, 100 people out of all the bajillion D people in the world, I am going to go for the billion with Tekken 2. Because it sure as hell ain't, what? Anything else?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm quiet over here because I'm really trying to think of something that I think I'm good enough at that I could beat 100 people at.
What is your super confident thing? If it's, maybe you are really good at something big. Hey, if we've got like a professional athlete listen, let's go.
Well, yeah, there's no argument there,
But 100 random humans. Again, random. You got to think of the randomness.
Yeah, I don't know. I need some time to decide. I need some time to think about this.
So I forgot to open the actual. I saw this from an article, so there were other answers. One of them was like backing a semi-truck into a certain area because I've done it so many times.
Oh, that's cool. If somebody's got those skills.
Yeah, for sure.
Mine would have nothing to do with driving because I don't drive enough to be good at
terrible.
it.
You got to have more confidence in your driving than that.
When you were saying, look, I can get to where I need to go and not run people off the road, I'm fine. But when you were saying a semi-truck, like backing up, it reminded me of the first time I took my driver's test and failed before we even left the parking lot because I couldn't parallel park and I couldn't pull up to the line close enough or whatever the other one was where you back up a little bit or something. I don't remember, but I did them all wrong. I did them very bad. There
was another one on the list where it was like filleting pieces of fish.
Oh, that's a cool skill to have, to be good at, Hey, I can make fish taste the best.
The answer was from somebody who has been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can do it almost in my sleep. Of course, with 100 random humans. There you go. How about disappointing my parents was another answer from the list. It's a good list.
Now, that I might be able to do.
Right?
Yeah.
Another one is, I spent years training to spit toothpaste directly into the sinkhole with no splashback or paste getting on the rest of the sink bowl. Bullseye every time.
Nice.
100 random humans.
Okay, yeah.
That's just ridiculous, but perfect. Navigation with only a compass and a terrain map.
Oh, that's a good skill to have.
Definitely. This one says, touching the highest possible point on a wall without jumping. I'm 6'8", so pretty good odds I'm going to come out on top.
Yeah.
Again, it's random humans, so it could be a baby. You know what I mean?
Not much of a competition there.
What if if somebody who's bedridden, you know what I mean? They're not getting up there.
No.
That's terrible. I found the one with the salmon, so I just want to read that. He says, it's literally my job. I've been doing it for 20 years. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty good at it. And like any craftsman, my skills been honed through sheer repetition. I've absolutely filleted hundreds of thousands of fish in my life. And even if you're pretty good, I'm willing to bet I'm better using the metrics of speed, appearance, and percent of wastage.
Interesting.
It's a very thorough and awesome answer. That's why I wanted to read that one for an example, too. Guessing what brake pads belong to a car. So many years working at car repair shops have benefits.
Cool.
Stuff like that. Emo song lyrics from 2003 to 2007. If anyone beats me, I'll marry them. What if it's a baby?
Huh.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Time for my Tetris 99 skills to shine, one person said, so I'm not alone on the video game front there.
I figured that's the first thing when you were talking about Tekken, the first thing I thought of was my mom playing Dr. Mario. She used to play that for hours. Nice. She loved that game.
Dr. Mario, all right.
Dr. Mario. I
like
grew up listening to that background music.
Oh my goodness. This one says putting an IV line in or restraining an aggressive dog.
Ooh, those are good skills to have.
And then procrastination.
Yeah.
So whatever you got.
I'm somewhat good at that one.
Whatever you got. Again, if you are with 100 random humans and you got to be better than all of them at something, $1 billion, what are you picking?
Let us know on our Facebook page.
That's right.
Luke and Naomi on air.
That's right.
YouTube. Anywhere. Send us a message. Leave us a comment. Give us a call if you have our phone number.
And that's that.
That's that.
Looking forward to those answers. We'll read those next episode. Now is time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not, but I'm going to see if I can find a truck horn or, a fancy car horn or something like that to drop in right here. But failing that, we'll still use the old sound. So you're finding out and we don't even know. But you want to hit the button? There we go.
I paused for a second for a dramatic effect.
She had to find it.
That's right.
She had to find it. So there we go. All right, it is time.
Under the paper.
It is time for Naomi's Under a Rock review. Smokey and the Bandit. I'm so excited. Jackie Gleason, Burt Reynolds, Jerry Reed, and of course I'm gonna blank on Sally Field. Yeah. So all right, pumped. Take it away.
All right. So we open up on a guy getting busted for hauling Coors beer over state lines. Apparently, it's bootlegging. So next, we got to meet Big Enos and Little Enos.
we don't generally stop and talk in the middle of a movie just because I don't want Naomi to get out of it so she can still pay attention, get her notes, and all of this.
Oh yeah.
But she paused this and looked at me and was like, "What are we doing?" This is when Big Enos and Little Enos walk on screen. She's just like, "What the hell?
What am I watching right now?" But yeah, we meet Big Enos and Little Enos. These wealthy men who find the bandit, who's like this great truck driver, whatever. What did they call it? Blocker. And they want to place a bet. So they're willing to pay the bandit $80,000 to bring 400 cases of Coors beer to Georgia. And I'm guessing at this point, the bandit seems like the kind of guy who doesn't walk away from a challenge.
By the way, if anybody knows if that was actually a law in the 70s, please let me know, because that's the weirdest thing. You can't bring Coors east of Texas.
I could see it being a thing.
I mean,
I
I
really
could, too.
could. Because, like, you can't ship alcohol in the mail to certain states.
Right.
But some states you can.
But Coors beer specifically, you can't bring it east of Texas. What is
maybe
the
it
deal
meant,
with that?
Maybe it meant all beer and they just, locked in on
But in
Coors.
1977, that seems odd. Anyway, so if anybody
No,
knows...
it doesn't. In the 70s and the 60s? You know what they were doing in the 60s and 70s?
No, I don't, thankfully. But yeah,
Doesn't
so...
seem that odd.
I want some info on that. Anyway.
All right. So anyways, Bandit, not really the kind of person to walk away from a challenge. Bandit takes the bet to get 400 cases from Texarkana and back to Georgia in 28 hours. He meets his old friend Cletus with a D.
That's how it's spelled on like IMDb and stuff like that.
AKA
Cledus.
AKA Snowman. By the way, I'm going to refer to him as Snowman for the rest of this.
The one snowman.
Yeah. He tells him about the deal. Obviously, he agrees, even though he sounds a little doubtful because of the timing of it and, well, because it's illegal. So the bandit is going to be driving the car in front of the truck, and Snowman is going to be driving the truck with his dog, Fred, as his passenger.
Gotta love Fred.
Yeah.
I love that name for a dog.
We get a nice music montage of driving through different states and areas. You know what song is, playing through all of this.
Of course you do. At first, it's Westbound and Down.
That's right.
Which I don't think I ever noticed before.
At one point, they're in Mississippi, and the bandit starts driving like a madman. A police officer turns on his sirens and starts chasing him, but Bandit is able to lose him. As he's sneaking away, the bandit breaks the fourth wall and smiles at the camera before driving off. Really enjoyed that. That was kind of cute. Yes. Probably like one of the first times they did that in film, right? In the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, film was just starting then,
Well,
the wheel had just been invented.
You're terrible. You're terrible. All right, so he smiles at the camera and then drives off. Then we see Bandit and the Snowman make it to Texarkana. They stop outside a beer store, but it's locked. Nobody's there. Man, this scene is probably one of the funniest scenes in the whole stupid movie.
It is great.
All right, so they stop to get the beer. It's locked. Nobody's there. So the bandit kicks in the door and opens the gate to where all the beer is stored. Snowman's asking him, like, how are they going to get all the beer loaded up on the truck? And Bandit kind of looks around and is like, oh, the forklift right there. He hops on the thing and just starts driving it. Like, doesn't know what he's doing. He's, like, making the lift go up. Doesn't mean to. I'm just repicturing it in my head. It was really funny. Ends up crashing it, like, into the beer and, like, breaking a whole bunch of cases and all of that. Yeah, and they're just like, oopsies, no big deal. But somehow they end up getting it all loaded up, and they're getting ready to hit the road. Except for Bandit's like, oh, you should leave a note for them and, send the bill to
Big Enos.
Big Enos.
Not anus.
So Snowman starts writing this, and it's just like confused on the spelling, and he just goes, oh, the heck with this, and just kind of throws it. He's like, I gotta get going. And they take off. Just so goofy. This whole movie's so goofy.
It really is.
All right, so they're back on the road. While driving, this woman in a wedding dress is blocking the road. So
she just stands there.
Oh, yeah. She's like, go ahead and hit me. I don't care.
Crazy.
She just left a wedding. I'm pretty sure she just doesn't have a care in the world anyways. So the bandit stops and she jumps in. He insults her a couple of times, stuff about her fat calves, and she was looking for a wedding.
Very, very matter of fact, he insults her a couple of times.
Well, he did.
As you do, right?
Yeah,
that's how you said it.
Well, especially the fat calves part. It just that caught me off guard.
Naomi sort of jolted when he said that. It was great.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite lines in the movie.
He asked her if she was looking for a wedding and all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, a van of kids saw her hop into the bandit's car, and they start rifling through her car that she's left behind. A sheriff pulls up, makes them put their hands on the car, and tells them to stay put. He asks if they know where the bride went, and one of the kids said she hopped into a car with a license plate of Band 1 on it. So the sheriff drives off to find the bride. While the bandit is driving with the bride, they have, some good banter. It's funny. It's goofy. Anyway, so he passes a cop car while speeding, and the bride's like, hey.
Would that interest you?
Yeah, would that interest you that there's a cop peeing out there? He's kind of like, oh, yeah, actually it would. So then the lights come on, and they have to lose him again, which he does by making a bunch of sharp turns and all of that. Cop car goes into a pond, which happens a lot in the movie. A lot of times when he's eluding the police.
They pond several vehicles, don't they?
Yes, I feel like
it's a great sight gag.
Yeah, and whoever was writing this was like, let's just destroy a whole bunch of cop cars the process.
Or the bridge jump and all that stuff.
Yes, let's just throw them all in the pond. All right, so Snowman radios in wondering where the bandit went, and he says he's on his way. Then someone else radios in and says, radios in their channel, Smokey Bear. He's the sheriff that's looking for the bride. That's his, what do they say, handle?
That's right.
That's his handle, Smokey Bear. So he says he's right behind the bandit. So, of course, the bandit takes off. The whole movie, honestly, it's fun. They've got the eluding of the police, a lot of car chases, running around, goofy, folky music going at the same time. It was just a fun watch. So the bandit and Frog, as he named the bride, which the bride's name is like Carrie or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, let's just say yeah.
Yeah. And so they name her Frog for multiple reasons that I'm not going to go into details. But by the way, this movie was rated PG.
Oh, yeah.
No, it wasn't. Like,
no, it was not PG.
There is no way that this movie would be PG. Like, it would at least be PG-13, but I'm pretty sure they'd try to push it to rated R. I really do believe that. Anyways, Frog, as she's now referred to.
Carrie. Yeah. Did you say Carrie?
I did.
Yes.
Stopped by this restaurant/bus stop, apparently. She's going to get a bus ticket, go somewhere, and Bandit's going to get some food for Snowman and Fred the dog. The sheriff, Smokey Bear, comes into the same restaurant. Now, the bride has already gone her separate way to get her bus ticket, and Bandit is at the counter finishing his iced tea when the sheriff comes over. The sheriff orders a sandwich and tells the lady behind the counter, like, hey, I'm in a hurry. I got to get going, all of that stuff. That's when Bandit strikes up a conversation asking the sheriff who he's chasing or if somebody's chasing him. Did that person rob a bank? All of that. So the sheriff actually tells him who he's looking for, gives him some details about what's going on and everything. Has no idea that he's actually talking to the bandit. Yeah. Then he ends up excusing himself to use the bathroom. Once he does that, the bandit takes off because he knows, this is a close call.
That's
here.
A fantastic scene. I love that.
Yeah. As he's walking out of the restaurant, here comes Frog driving his car. So he jumps in the window in the passenger seat. So we have more like chase scenes going on. Frog drives for a little bit. Then they try to change seats, but it's awkward. And at one point, he's like sitting behind her and she's sitting on his lap, but she's still driving, but won't get over. Then he gets back over in his seat. It's very chaotic. Very
much.
Without it feeling so chaotic.
It was great.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Very well done. Very well done. All right, as they cross state lines, there are now more roadblocks, but every time there is one, they drive off, and we have another chase or getaway scene. Good thing Bandit has a lot of friends, too. He's got quite a few people on the radio telling him to, letting him know that there's a roadblock coming up, or how they're going to be able to slow down the sheriff, and all of that kind of stuff. It's kind of cute, They all have his back.
You like the crew.
Yeah.
The trucker crew.
It's definitely a movie you have to watch for yourself so you can get the funny lines between Snowman and Bandit and Frog and the sheriff and his son. I have not mentioned the son at all.
Daddy, who's going to hold your hat?
Yeah.
Oh, Daddy, the top came off. He's so stupid. It's
he
great.
Is so stupid. And he didn't need to be there. He was a distraction for most of the movie.
As soon as I get home, boy, I'm going to punch your mama in the mouth.
What the heck?
Oh, man.
Real line in the movie. Yep, that really did happen. But anyways, all that banter and all of that is definitely worth seeing the movie by itself.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Frog and the Bandit end up getting busy, which we knew that was going to happen. We knew they were going to hook up.
It's a 70s movie.
Yeah. The bandit's friends help him elude the cops a couple more times, including one where he sneaks into the trucker's convoy and they block him so the officers chasing him can't see him anymore and end up losing him.
That was cool.
Things are going great until a police bike turns on their sirens around Snowman. He's about to get pulled over. He radios the bandit and tells him he better come quick because they're about to be in a load of trouble.
We got an Evel Knievel.
That's right. So Bandit pulls up just as the cop is talking with Snowman. He does a donut and then Frog flicks him off. They speed off, so the cop gets back on his bike and follows them. And at this point, it actually looks like the bandit's not going to get away this time.
Uh-oh.
There's a helicopter following them. There's roadblocks coming up. And he's radioing to Snowman hey, we tried, we made a good run. This is not looking good. And Snowman, who beginning in the movie were just kind of this is a bad idea. This is illegal, all of this. Now he's hey, we are almost there. We are not giving up right now. So Snowman passes Bandit in his truck so he can smash through all the roadblocks and they can get through and escape. So they make it back to the truck show where it all started, but they're actually a minute late. Which I don't think that should count for anything because, come on, 28 hours. I would say it's not 29 hours. It's still 28 hours. It's 28 hours and 1 minute.
Yeah.
It's fine. It counts.
Round down.
That's right. But they don't even mention that, really. They don't even make a big stink about it or anything. They're like, we're 1 minute after or whatever is all they say. And then Big Enos and Little Enos offer a double or nothing bet for some clam chowder.
From Boston.
Yeah.
All right.
So obviously they take the bet, which I wrote down Bandit takes the bet, but I feel like it was more like Frog, because I feel like she was yelling at the end, like, you got it, or something, or deal. Like, I feel like she was the one to actually say, like, yeah, we're going to go do this. They take a different vehicle, but as they're leaving, they see Smokey Bear. Not the actual Smokey Bear, the sheriff.
Did you write down his name?
No, it was a long name. No.
Sheriff Buford T. Justice.
Yeah, that's too long.
You didn't write down Buford T. Justice?
No.
Okay.
I wrote down Smokey and Sheriff for everything.
I'm just now noticing that. That's fantastic.
Anyways,
Again,
they see him.
Naomi just labels people by how she sees them at the beginning of the movie.
Listen, no.
The guy who was taking a poop at the beginning.
No. Everybody here, I used their name.
You did a great job.
I did.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's like 5 characters and they all have weird names, so it worked out fine. Anyways, so they see Smokey and they radio to him. At first, Bandit is like, oh, yeah, we're down the hill. But then he's like, nah, I can't do that. I have to be honest. We're to your left. So like Smokey turns and there they are. So they drive off and Smokey's all angry. He drives off as they're peeling away. Leaves his son behind. I think his son like fell out of the car or something. I don't remember. But like they just drives off without him. And that's it. The end. Left it wide open for a sequel.
Of which
or
there
more.
are several.
I was going to say, I saw that there's at least 3. So.
Eastbound and down. All right. Is that it?
That's it.
That's all of Smokey and the Bandit. All right. Fantastic. I loved watching this movie, and I watched you chuckle a bunch of times. So
it was so goofy.
As we do after every movie, we have our review questions, and the first question every time is, did you like it?
I did like it. I liked it more than I thought I was going to like it, to be honest. Especially with how stupid it was.
I think it showed, because again, I try not to pay attention and stuff like that until we get to the review, so everything's fresh or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think I could tell that you kind of liked it. It seemed like you were having fun.
Yeah, it was a fun movie. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
All right. Were you disappointed that they didn't really say the name of the movie in the movie, but they kind of did because they said their names the whole time?
I didn't need that in this movie.
Yeah. That's Smokey and the Bandit.
I need it in movies where you're like, where does that name come from? Like The Green Mile. Like when they said that, it was like, that's so cool. That's where the name came from.
That definitely helps, right? Okay.
Rocky, not so much.
You still liked it a little bit, though. I don't care.
No.
What did you know about Smokey and the Bandit before you watched it?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Really?
Yeah. It had to do with a guy driving a car.
Nothing. Not even the song. It's like, oh, I've heard the song before.
Nope.
Or anything.
Nope.
All right. What were your thoughts?
Didn't even know Burt Reynolds was in it.
Really?
No.
Jesus, I thought you knew at least that.
No.
Wow. Under a rock reviews for a reason, gang.
Yeah.
That's why we call them that. What were your thoughts going in then?
Not a whole lot. I was like, all right, let's see where this goes.
No, I mean, we had talked about it when we were driving.
Yeah.
So did like any kind of road travel? Nothing.
No.
Wow. I really thought you knew a little bit more, but I'm consistently blown away at how under a rock.
I think at one point I was thinking, because we had mentioned something about a car. So I guess I thought Dukes of Hazzard a little bit.
Ah, okay.
Which I haven't seen that one either, so I wasn't,
Well, it's a TV show.
Oh, okay. I thought they did a movie.
Well, they did, but it was with the guys from Super Troopers, and it wasn't really...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, way off
There may
base
have been
there.
a TV movie back in the day, but yeah, the Dukes...
Okay, so I thought about,
show.
like, the car and, like, Some Lady and Daisy Dukes.
Oh, yeah, that's Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, so that's kind of
Some
what I was...
lady and Daisy... Her name is Daisy Duke. They're named because of her.
Okay, well... it's not wrong.
Some lady
She's
wearing her
them.
pants.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so that's kind of what I was picturing, but I was like, okay, it's not the same thing. So I thought maybe, just something similar.
More
maybe.
similar than you think.
Yeah.
with
Okay.
the chasing the police and the Keystone Cops kind of situation and the Southern Sheriff redneck situation and all of that stuff.
All right.
I like the Trans Am more than the General Lee, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm a Trans Am guy. That's the greatest car in the history of movies.
Sure.
After the DeLorean.
Okay.
Anyway, sure. Something Naomi doesn't care about.
No, not at all.
So your thoughts going in really were
nothing.
I don't have any. What surprised you?
Probably just how much I liked it for how stupid it was.
Yeah. The banter, pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all of them, like you said earlier. So
the writing was, just goofy and funny and just well done.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you have liked it more or less if you saw it when you were younger? How about 12?
I think less.
Less?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have gotten it at all, really?
No.
Yeah.
Those adult jokes make it a little bit better,
They definitely do. PG.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
Well, the beer scene where they just break all that beer. It's so freaking... It just happens so fast because he's, like, backing up. And, like, I swear, whether it was planned or not, like, it looks like he's losing control of that forklift. And then it's going, like, up and down and all of that. Like, it's just, like, I'm watching this going, how many takes did this take? And did somebody actually get hurt while they were doing this? Because it looks like they would have.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep. So that part is just absolutely hilarious. I enjoyed the eluding the cops a little bit more than I thought. After the first time, when it was happening again, I was like, I should be bored by this.
Right.
But I wasn't.
It seems logical, but you're not.
It's fun every time.
Every time. All right. What was your least favorite part?
Least favorite part? Probably anything that had to do with the sheriff's son.
Yeah?
He was just so dumb. I could not deal with him. The movie's stupid, so I get it, but no, he was just too much for me.
Oh boy. All right. Let's see here. Would you recommend it to someone who hasn't seen it?
Of course.
Would you watch it again?
Yes, I would.
All right. Would you stop and watch it if it's on TV?
Yes.
Yeah, you would. Would you watch any sequels?
Yeah, probably.
And are you happy you watched it?
Of course.
All right. Anything else you want to add? Anything we forgot from Smokey and the Bandit?
No, I don't think so. Again, it was just such a stupid movie.
It was perfect for getting home from a long road trip, right?
It was. Glad I finally watched it, though.
All right. Fantastic. Great review. I'm glad you liked it, as opposed to just dump it all over it if you hated it, because you would have. If you didn't like it at all, you would have just crushed this one.
Oh, yeah. I would have been real mean about it. Would have been meaner than my Hocus Pocus review.
All right. That's fantastic. Well done.
All right. We'll see what happens next week. See if it's Robin Hood. I don't know. I have a feeling it's not going to be, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
You don't think
Depends
so?
on how I'm feeling. Yeah.
We'll find out. If you're in a Disney movie watching mood.
Yeah. It just depends.
Or maybe we just say never mind and do the Kevin Costner one because you're in the mood for that.
It's time for Thought of the Day.
Thought of the day. Thought of the day. It's your thought of the day. Thought of the day.
Do you feel like explaining that?
I've just been doing it so long I can't stop. So that's how that goes.
It's stuck like that for the rest of your life.
It's yeah.
All right. So you never actually stop clapping. The intervals between claps just get longer.
That's sort of just creepy.
Yeah.
In a weird, creepy, weird way.
Yeah.
That's an odd thought.
Well, think about it for a little while.
That's what Thought of the Day is all about, gang.
That's right. Luke, you gonna leave us with a laugh?
I'm gonna do my best.
I'm not looking forward to these.
You ready?
No.
I got a whole bunch
whatever.
too. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm retired in the sense that I was tired yesterday and I'm tired again today.
That's terrible. Boo.
When I was a kid, bedtime was 9 p.m. I couldn't wait to be a grown-up so I could go to bed anytime I wanted. Turns out that is 9 p.m.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's kind of a thought of the day, I think. I'm stealing the thought, getting into the thought of the day territory. The last thing my grandfather said before he died was, "It's worth it to spend money on good speakers." It was sound advice.
That's stupid. That's terrible. How can you even chuckle at that?
How do you get down from an elephant?
You jump?
You don't. You get down from a goose. Look, she had to look up and process that one quickly.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Like literally looked up from the microphone. Huh. Oh. And then hated it.
Yeah, because it's stupid.
I went out once with a girl who worked in a brewery and had one leg. She was in charge of the hops.
That's so stupid.
The word queue is ironic because it's just a queue with a bunch of silent letters waiting in a line.
Yeah.
It's more of a shower thought, too, I think. I woke up to drink some water in the middle of the night and accidentally ate a whole pizza and a cheesecake.
That was just kind of relatable.
Yeah, right. That's another shower thought.
Yeah.
Thought of the day.
How many times have we done that one? I just need some water. Oh, there's pizza in here.
All right, one more.
Oh, yeah.
One more. A whole pizza and a cheesecake. Feel personally attacked. What do you call a superhero with a bad sense of direction?
I don't know.
Wonder Woman.
So dumb. You should have stopped at the pizza
You
one.
like that one. I like pizza one was good. You like that more than I thought you were going to. Oh boy. All right, there you go. That's some dad jokes to send you out with until episode 78. This is a good one. I like Smokey and the Bandit. Looking forward to what we do next week. I'm going to try to push for the Robin Hood, but there's a couple others that I know we've wanted to get to, or I do. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Don't forget, you get paired with 100 random humans. If you're better than all of them at something, you get $1 billion. What are you choosing? Let us know. And check out the Facebook page if you haven't before. Luke and Naomi on air. Luke and Naomi on air on YouTube and all of the podcast hosting websites.
Everywhere. We're
If
everywhere.
you're listening, you know how to get a podcast, right?
Yeah.
You can just Google Luke and Naomi on air, too.
We come up.
We certainly do. All right. Until episode 78, have some fun this week. Be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.